You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 179. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner, at Roro.
Hello, hello. I'm so jealous of Christian right now.
Heck yeah. Christian, of course, in Japan, so he is not with us. But
he is not.
Someone else, that voice right there, the DMZ daddy, the Tarkov Teletubby himself, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins. Hello.
That was for me and for Christian because
Nice.
He's not here.
So it was a little extra.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our video game hot takes. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Guys, first item on the quick bites. Please join me and be happy about this. I hope you guys are happy about this. You guys probably don't give a shit, but Gage might. The first item we have, Halo Wars 2 has randomly dropped one of their audio songs that we got with the initial reveal trailer for Halo Wars 2 many years ago. The song was originally never released. It was released with the reveal trailer and never to be heard from again. Actually, somebody who joined the community team with 343 said that it was actually one of his goals to get this released because it's such a cool song. I just wanted to spotlight it here because it's so unique and very different for the Halo franchise, and I freaking love it. It's really and it hits me so hard listening to it because I absolutely loved freaking seeing that Halo Wars 2 announcement because I love the first game so much. It's a disgrace what Don Matrick did to freaking Ensemble.
Ensemble, yes.
Yeah.
It was Ensemble, yeah.
Yeah, Ensemble created the original Halo Wars, did such a great job with that. So yeah, this was really cool to see this back, and it sounds so good.
That is pretty rad.
That is cool.
Especially after so long that he still kept his promise and got it out.
Very cool. Indeed. Moving on, Hogwarts Legacy's opening week has apparently been 56% bigger across Europe than Elden Ring, with the biggest launch outside of a FIFA or COD game, of course Call of Duty, since Red Dead Redemption 2. So obviously with all the mixed feelings about this game in terms of the outside issues of J.K. Rowling, it is very adamant, or I guess it's very evident that we're getting pretty large support for the game in terms of sales. Very interesting.
Yeah. Huge numbers. I don't want to talk about it too much because we talked about it so much, but I feel like this is similar to just video games in general, where general audiences may not even know about the controversy in the first place.
Right.
That it's I see a Harry Potter game, let's play the Harry Potter game. They don't realize that they may be engaging in something quote unquote controversial, which I think definitely helps as well.
Yeah.
Very true. Moving on from there, guys, Firaxis Games has announced Civilization 7, so there is another Civilization game on the way. I'm thrilled to have this opportunity to carry on the studio's storied legacy, beginning with the announcement that Firaxis is in development on the next iteration of the legendary Civilization franchise, says Heather Hazen, COO of Firaxis. So, very cool.
Stuff.
RTS fans out there. Go. or strategy, I guess. I guess Civilization's always been more strategy than, I guess,
Yeah.
RTS. Yeah. But cool. Moving into some Super Mario Brothers movie news, guys. We got word that the movie is set to run at 92 minutes long, which is a little on the shorter side compared to like movies nowadays, but for animation, I think it's pretty spot on, it seems like. But Nintendo also announced that the movie is getting its own Nintendo Direct on March 9th that will take place, which I'm assuming we'll get a new trailer there.
Yes.
Okay.
They're saying they're going to show off the final trailer,
Ooh.
final trailer before release, which is pretty exciting. So far, each trailer has hyped me up even more than the last. So I'm expecting the same to happen with this one.
I mean, boys, let's take this opportunity because the hater boy himself is not here. Like, I was so down on this movie before it came out. Like, we found out about Chris Pratt, all that stuff. And then, yeah, after the first trailer, I was like, no, you know what? I'm kind of digging this. I'm kind of really liking this a lot. And honestly, 92 minutes sounds perfect. That sounds. I don't need an MCU, like, you know what I mean? Like, for Super Mario, for a feature length film about two plumbers that eat mushrooms and get big and jump on mushrooms, which is actually kind of weird to think about. It sounds 92 minutes sounds more than enough. That sounds great. I'm very excited, and this will be a good time. Yeah. Do we know when this movie's coming out?
April? Something?
I think so.
Is it that soon? I thought it was the middle of July.
Mario.
April 7th.
There we go.
April 7th.
Not too far away, actually.
People were saying they were so close to the direct is on March 9th, and the day after is Mario Day, March 10th. It was like so close, but people point out that it will be Mario Day in Japan. So they nailed it in some places.
Also, shout out to doing a direct on a movie and kind of like combining your two. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like Nintendo is a gaming company, and even though they're making this movie, which I think a lot of people have played Super Mario, whether or not you're a gamer or not, because it's just one of those casual games that somebody somewhere has had some sort of experience with. But yeah, like kind of joining those two audiences if you want to go that far. But even just like using your Nintendo Direct brand and being like, we don't need to do another, like, we don't need to split off and make Nintendo Direct TV and film. Like, no, you're just kind of keeping it under the same umbrella. Everything's neat and tidy. I like it.
So much fan service in that movie. I'm excited to see it. All right, guys. Battlefield 2042 Season 4 is bringing a bunch of new content coming this month. We're getting a new map, hardware, and a recon specialist when it launches on February 28th. The new map, Flashpoint, will have a South African setting and features a variety of interior spaces that encourage frenetic close quarters combat, while the surrounding rocky terrain is likely better suited to sniper and tank warfare. The sprawling discarded map, which is set in an abandoned Indian shipyard, is also set to get a rework. So, of course, they're continuing their reworks, which is really cool that they're going back to old maps that people have problems with to kind of make them better and such. So,
yes,
very, very interested. I want to go back to this. I think we should go back to this sometime and play.
I still haven't played it yet, but I like it's really random, but I really like the UI that I'm seeing in this article. It seems kind of cluttered, but I just like the colors, I guess. But yeah, it's good that they're still supporting this game after the rocky launch and systems being implemented super late, and people are like, why wasn't this here at launch? But it's good to see that they're still supporting it. I think, didn't they say they're already starting the next Battlefield already? I feel like we did a story on that.
Yes,
I might be mistaken.
Yes, Marcus Lado is his own team is making the next Battlefield. Yeah.
So even though that's happening, it's good to see that they're still at least supporting it a little bit, right, as they're developing the other one instead of just completely abandoning it.
Absolutely. This next one, I think Gage is going to be excited about. Off the Grid shows its first full episode showing the world of the upcoming Battle Royale from Neil Blomkamp. And of course, he's doing these live action, or not a live action. Is it animated or live action? Honestly, I didn't even check it out yet.
It is CGI. Yeah,
CGI.
it's all CGI.
Okay. Yeah. And he's doing these episodes alongside the Battle Royale to kind of flesh out that world. So very fascinating what he's doing here.
Yeah, the reason that I'm hyped is that Neil Blomkamp is excellent at one of my like kryptonites when it comes to video games, TV, movies, media, anything, which is like world building. Like, I would never claim that Neil Blomkamp is even close to like one of the best directors out there, but I love all of his work because like every time you watch one of his movies, it seems like you could read like a fan wiki that goes on forever and ever about the universe. Like, every one of his movies are really well thought out. And so the idea that he's working on a game is like, well, I mean, he doesn't have any history in games. This could be totally good. It could be totally bad. But the one thing I know that'll probably be cool is that the world and the lore will probably be pretty interesting. So I'm hyped. And then, of course, you and I both have love for Neil for, of course, his Halo related endeavors and his efforts to actually do something with that IP. He's somebody who loves Halo, so we love him.
Yes. Which we got a small glimpse at what that project might have been. I think in the last week with their script, the full script being revealed.
Yes, very different tone. This seems like definitely more. That scene would have been awesome. Oh,
Christian, hello.
He was a hater boy. He said,
"See you later." Whoa!
Wow, he's here.
Look at this man. Oh my god, he's so handsome, dude.
Konnichiwa.
Where's the good line? Oh, there we go.
There you go. There it is.
Look at this handsome boy.
Heck yeah.
Talking about
about you.
Neil Blomkamp and you.
Neil Blomkamp. What about him?
Off the Grid.
Off the Grid. He released a new not live action CGI short for his game that he's been working on, which I forgot about a little bit. Not gonna lie. Oh, he's got an outfit on.
His little Dickies jumper.
Yeah.
Is this Tom Hardy or what?
Their coveralls and my slippers.
That is an outfit. That's a fit.
That's something.
Yeah. I miss you.
I miss you.
I miss you too. What have you been up to? What's the highlight so far?
Oh my god, the food, the beer, the museums.
Hell yeah.
Today
Everything's a highlight.
5 style.
Yeah.
Wow.
Drinking lots of Sapporo over there?
No, not one Sapporo yet.
No?
I can get that in the States.
That's true.
Fair.
Why?
That's fair.
Why is Dan?
What? What? Why is Dan what?
Smiling like that?
I was just I'm smiling at your happiness.
Come here.
Dude, he's glowing right now. Look at Christian. He's literally glowing.
He is, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Wish you a good show. I miss you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy your vacation, man.
Yes.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye. Wait, hold on. What's my hot take?
Oh.
Yeah.
Say something stupid.
Are bad.
Yeah.
All the what games?
Video games are bad, except for.
Wow.
Except for.
Bye.
Hello.
Okay. Bye, Christian. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You are listening to field reporter Christian Macias live.
Doing some
live
investigative journalism down there in Japan. Yeah.
Yes.
So get
He's
back
there
to
for the direct. Actually, he's our correspondent.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Glenn's blowing up the chat. Hogwarts Legacy, baby, let's go. And then he says, what is going on with Gage's camera feed? Gage looks fine. What do you mean, Glenn?
No, I'm a little bright again.
Oh.
See, it's all over the place. I'm not this pasty, Dan. I'm pasty, but I'm not this pasty.
And then why does Christian look like such a weapon?
He is. He's an absolute unit, honestly.
All right. You know what else is a weapon, guys? Game Pass Ultimate is headed.
Nice.
The Friends and Family program is headed to new countries, including Chile. I screwed that up. Hungary, Israel, New Zealand, South Africa, and Sweden. So not to the States or Canada just yet, but expanding to more locations. Exciting times.
Oh, dialing up. dialing it back because Christian interrupted us. South Africa is a good location for a Battlefield map. I feel like that sounds great.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Skipping back forward. What was the question?
I had nothing. I just said, heck yeah, we're excited about Game Pass Ultimate Friends and Family program going to more countries, you know?
Yeah,
Spread
but those
deals.
those countries aren't our countries, though.
True.
That's true. But you know who is really excited, guys? E3. The ESA are very excited because Ubisoft is coming to E3, and I don't know who else is going. So it might just be Ubisoft.
Nice.
Ubisoft will be there.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2024 will be there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh boy. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope some other people join as well. But again, like we've been saying with this whole E3 Summer Games Fest thing, it really doesn't matter as long as they show up to the Summer Games Fest or they have their showcases and directs during this time. We're all going to be enjoying it the same way since they aren't doing live in-person stuff anymore. So, well, E3 is in person though.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, that's the only one, right? Or
I
is
think
Jeff?
I think Jeff announced that he's going to do another smaller type thing again because he did that smaller thing last year. Yeah.
Well, that part of my argument doesn't stand,
No,
but I still do believe that like it like, you know what I mean? Like as long as everybody does it around the same time, it's fine. But it does sound like E3 is like really asking like, hey, do you want to come, please? Like
Right.
Ubisoft, like we'll come, and E3 is like, okay, great. Anyone else?
Anybody else gonna come?
My favorite to go with that row is like the first two comments I clicked on the tweet here. The first two comments says, "Please let me know when tickets go on sale. I want to go so bad." And when do tickets go on sale? I'm like, till what? Like, what are you going for?
Oh my God,
Dan, this Just Dance 2024 is going to be the most advanced Just Dance yet.
It's going to introduce singing for the first time. I don't know.
Is that a PXN exclusive?
Yeah, take it to the bank.
Are we leakers now?
Put your bets on it right now. And Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That was no, Rashid hit that nail right on the head with E3 and Ubisoft. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Also, so now we're talking about E3 again. So it's, I mean, PlayStation just didn't do a showcase last year. Right? They did not do. They did not do. No, because that was the thing. Like we were talking about it for episodes and episodes. When are they going to do it? When are they going to do it? And I realized I'm sitting here and I'm like, we're talking about E3 again. They didn't do it. Kind of a ballsy move. They did not have a like hour and a half long showcase. Did they?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. They just did the little state of plays. So hopefully we get something from PlayStation around E3 time, and then hopefully it's fucking huge. That would be awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Shadow dropping factions too. Let's go.
Like maybe, hey Jim Ryan, why don't you focus on putting a nice show together instead of we'll get to that. Moving into our street meat, Metro Exodus's sequel is reportedly fully playable. This comes from Tom Henderson's Insider Gaming. He says that his sources have revealed that a Metro Exodus sequel by 4A Games is well into development and is fully playable. 4A has been very transparent in the past that a new Metro is coming, with Insider Gaming sources suggesting that the game is now fully playable. Such details suggest that the game could be revealed later this year with a tentative release window of 2024. So that would be exciting. I'm very, very excited for this. I liked Metro Exodus, but I very much loved Metro Last Light. That was my favorite Metro game. So I kind of hope that they go back to that. I feel like when it went open world, it lost a little bit of that, finesse and flavor of the Metro games. So I really hope that they kind of, take it back to those, close quarters and, freaking out around corners and like what monsters are going to pop out. Like I wanted to go back more to the roots and see what that can do. So this has me excited though.
I agree with you. Yeah, the atmosphere like in the first two Metro games is just, and it's something that you get from like you said, being in a Metro, being in this like old dilapidated. Yeah, I hope so too. Or even like I think they could pull off something like God of War with like this sort of semi-open world,
True.
where you have a hub area and then like I think they could pull that off. But I think you're right, because I absolutely loved the first 2 games and I didn't even make it all the way through Exodus. Not because I hated the game, but just because it, like you said, like it just felt a little bit off and I wasn't enjoying it, and then things came out. And so just sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I didn't finish the 3rd one. But it's just because they kind of went with a different direction. So hopefully, yeah, I agree. Hopefully they go back to their roots, because they did atmosphere like no one else. Those first 2 games hold up really well.
Absolutely. You nailed the head on the nail right there. Or nail on the head. I don't know.
One of them.
I
One
said
of
that
those, yeah.
backwards.
Something's getting nailed here. That's all that matters.
The atmosphere of those games, incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. All right. Moving into the PXN news of the week, guys. We have a new segment here. PXN Presents. And this is a bunch of events that have been announced coming our way pretty soon. So I lumped them all together in our little PXN Presents here. Yeah.
I like it.
Heck yeah. State of Play returns tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, with a new look at some exciting stuff, including Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League gets its first extended look. They're showing off hot indie and third-party reveals, and 5 new PSVR 2 titles from partners. So that's interesting as well. I'm just going to go over all 3 of these, and then we're going to go back and talk about them. But we're also getting a new Pokemon Presents, which is coming February 27th for 20 minutes of Pokemon news on the way in celebration of Pokemon Day 2023. And lastly, Forza Horizon 5's second expansion is set to get revealed tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern Time. That comes by way of Playground Games. So 3 different events here. And here's what I want to go down, guys. I am interested to hear what you guys, if you pick one thing from each of these that you want to see, what do you want to see from each of these events? Bro, why don't I start with you? What do you want to see from me?
For something that isn't announced, I guess, but my first thought for this PlayStation 1 is like I am interested to see the Suicide Squad stuff. I do want to see how they show that off, because right now I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this, especially off the heels of the game, the Battle Pass stuff that we talked about a while ago. So I'm excited to see what that game actually looks like for an extended period of time, see if it's actually fun. But for the hot indie stuff, I'm hoping that, I know Hollow Knight is kind of linked to Xbox right about now, but it would be really cool to see maybe a little tease there, maybe a date. That would be pretty cool. There's another game called Oxenfree. Again, some of these indies I've noticed that are really like tied with Xbox and Nintendo marketing, and I haven't seen them over on PlayStation, even though they are coming to those consoles. And I just equate that to PlayStation just hasn't been doing a lot of showcases recently. So I'm hoping to see those there. So those 2 indie games I'm hoping are at the State of Play. Should I keep going, or should I gauge do the PlayStation?
Just gauge you. You want to talk about yours, and then we'll go around.
No, you know what? Let Roshan finish out. Let Roshan finish out.
Roshan, finish up then.
He's on a roll.
For the Pokemon one, I'm hoping that we get a Scarlet and Violet DLC, which is more than likely going to be the case. And I'm hoping that we get a tease for the next game as well as you said one thing. I'm sorry. The DLC.
You're fine.
The DLC. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
The DLC for Scarlet and Violet, and for Horizon as expansion. Not a huge racing guy, but I would definitely tune into, at least after the fact, maybe check out a couple of videos from it, but nothing really huge on that one for me.
You know what? Give us another Pokemon one, because I knew I should have just let you just do 2 Pokemon.
Pokemon Sleep. It's real. We're finally getting the announcements. We're going to get some weird Pokemon stuff as well, I think. Pokemon Sleep, I'm hoping, is one of those things, because they just shut up about that. And maybe it's fine, but if you're going to reveal something so weird, follow through. If you're not going to do it, then don't say anything about it. But you said Pokemon Sleep is a thing. Tell us more about Pokemon Sleep. I want to know.
Shanna's out for blood.
Pokemon Sleep will not put you to sleep. Promise.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding.
Dang it.
I don't know.
Like it's in the name. Come on.
Yeah. Gage, what are you thinking? Any ideas rolling around?
State of play. You know what? It's too good to be true, and I always do this to myself. But you know what? For the state of play, I'm gonna say I want to see even a teaser. I don't care if it's just a logo. Show me something from The Last of Us in VR. Show me some kind of experience.
That'd be cool.
Right? We're talking about PSVR 2. You're trying to get people excited. The market's not super hot about it right now. Like, it's impressive tech, but like bad time to release and nobody's got money and all that stuff. I'm like, if you're really trying to like get people excited, like we've all talked about, and there's people smarter than us that work at PlayStation. So surely somebody's thought about the idea of sneaking around a bunch of clickers in VR, and hopefully somebody is that's in the pipeline. So that would be huge. I think that would be awesome, especially if they're doing some PSVR 2 stuff. Pokemon, I have nothing. Pokemon is
That's fair.
I don't know anything about Pokemon. I hope that there's a new one. There's a new Pokemon, and then he's better than the other ones. And then Forza 5 second expansion. I don't know. The little thumbnail we got makes it seem like it's rally themed, which is what I guess the one thing I want from it is like I hope it's rally themed because I like rally, and give us more Subarus because there's not enough.
Absolutely. Okay, so my state of play is going to be a little bit more generic. I was thinking they need to show us some PSVR 2 game that is a killer app. Like Horizon, I don't think was as much of a killer app as they were hoping for, and from what people have been saying about it. So I still feel like they're missing that, reason to go pick it up. Like 90% of the games you can play on MetaQuest, which is cheaper. So I think that's the key for them. They need to show something that will be like, man, I've got to get a PSVR 2. And that Last of Us experience may be it, Gage.
I was just saying, like, as you're talking about that, I'm like, imagine they open up and it's like this post-apocalyptic game. You can't quite make it out with it is like somebody's inside, they're at a workbench and you're like, you see the hands, it's just the floating hands, and like maybe you're crafting some sort of weapon.
Ooh,
and he's just going away and the crowd's watching, and then all of a sudden you hear like clicking from the outside, right? People would go nuts. People would go absolutely nuts. I just think that'd be such a fucking cool idea, man.
A survival game.
Right, like Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Obviously, much bigger visual fidelity because they can swing that. They're not like an independent, small, VR only studio. It's PlayStation. They have the wealth and resources of PlayStation. So if they had a game that is essentially just that, but it looks like something that looks like it stands beside The Last of Us, even like slightly in terms of graphics, man, that would be insane.
Heck yeah. Pokemon. I'm thinking let's bring back what Ro was talking about last week. Let's go ahead and remaster an old Pokemon game in the original sprites. I think that would be really cool, Ro. So I'm gonna, piggyback off of your
I hope that happens.
Yes, that'd be cool. Forza Horizon 5 second expansion. The rally stuff sounds really cool. I think my biggest thing that I want to see from the second expansion is something different. Obviously, we got Hot Wheels in the past with that game. Not with 5, but in the past in general. Or did we get Hot Wheels? No, we
got Hot Wheels with 5 as well. We've gotten Hot Wheels with the last 3.
Yeah, okay. And like, I just want to see something new. Maybe a cool new map. Like they've had some banger expansions in the past that are like completely different locales. So yeah, just something different.
I think you might be right because there seems with the last, I want to say Forza Horizon 3, 4, and 5, they all had one over the top expansion, which was a Hot Wheels one, or like I think one of them was a Lego.
Lego, yes.
And then the other one's always the more serious. It's like Storm Island or, all that other stuff. So I think you're right on the money. Like if we're going by that same pattern where you get one kind of wacky, fun expansion and one that's just like adding more content for the people that like it as a racing sim, then I think you're right. Hopefully we get like a new kind of off-road themed island or even just an expansion of the map. That'd be pretty cool.
Heck yeah. Down for all of you, Gage, for the additional context there. We've got a lot of context to add to the Microsoft and Activision acquisition. And of course, I was stalling a little bit to open all of these tabs because, my God, there's a million of them. Microsoft. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead. I was just going to groan about this fucking story.
Oh. So, yeah, I put it in here because there's a lot of news that came out of it. They held a little event where, what's his name? Brad Smith. Is it CEO of Microsoft? No, not CEO, but I
some
forget
big wig, some
president,
white collar
like that.
guy.
Yeah. But Microsoft has officially signed a 10-year deal with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty games to Nintendo platforms after the acquisition concludes. Wow, that is obviously we already kind of knew that this was happening. They had already talked about their desire to do this, but now they've put pen to paper. Nintendo's agreed. It's official. 10-year deal.
It's also sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, you're good.
Let me know when you're done.
I was just going to go over everything and then we can discuss whatever because I think there's just so much here.
That's true.
All right, but I'll let
remind me about the Nintendo thing when you're done.
Okay,
I'll forget.
Okay. Microsoft has also announced that they are bringing Xbox PC games to NVIDIA's GeForce Now cloud service. It's a part of a deal with NVIDIA that will see Activision Blizzard on GeForce Now if the acquisition is approved by regulators, which that is a huge deal we'll talk about in a little bit as well. The president of Communications Workers of America Union has urged the European Commission to approve the deal, which is very interesting. Very big union, so obviously they see something there that they want. And then Tencent has come out in support of the acquisition as well, which, take that with whatever grain of salt you would like.
That is the enemy of my enemy is my friend situation.
Exactly.
Tencent's not doing that out of the good of their hearts because
Right.
they've been acquiring half the fucking industry for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, but that's hilarious. Of course.
Yes. And then Activision Blizzard has said that they think that Sony is just trying to protect their 2-decade dominance in video games. Officially, they are saying the company hosted a press conference, of course, in Brussels. And where's the quote? I just had the quote a second ago. We don't think it's realistic that one part of the... that's not the right quote. But anyways, they did talk about carving up Activision, and Brad Smith was asked if they would want to buy just a piece of Activision to get this to go through. And Brad Smith's like, no, I don't think that would make sense. That wouldn't make sense for us at all. But yeah, very interesting. Oh, here's the quote that I was trying to find. Activision Blizzard accused Sony of trying to protect its 2-decade dominance in video games, arguing that the merger will create greater opportunities for workers while enhancing competition. In a similar vein, Smith once again tried to demonstrate Sony's dominance, laying out the numbers in the European market. He says, think about the market in Europe. It is a market where Sony has an 80% share. Globally, it is about 70-30. In Japan, it's 96-4, which is insane. So all of those numbers, insane. And then last bit of comments.
If you live in Japan and you're somebody who has an Xbox and talks about it, everybody fucking hates you. You're like the guy that talks about CrossFit or something.
Oh,
that's nuts. 4% market share.
Yeah, it is insane. Last bit of comments here. Brad Smith gives some of his comments here. He said that Sony can spend all of its energy trying to block this deal, or it can sit down with us and hammer out an agreement that addresses what it says it's concerned about, mainly to the access of Call of Duty in the future. Microsoft thinks its 2 deals with NVIDIA and Nintendo will be enough to convince regulators. Smith on the CMA, this is his direct quote, do you want to kill a deal and cement Sony's position, or do you want to open this Call of Duty, he's talking about, up to 150 million more people? Which Interesting.
Where's you getting that number from?
I'm not sure. That is an interesting number. He also goes on to say Microsoft has 58 games already running on PlayStation, which I haven't done the math there, but I'm not sure what games those are, but I'll have to do the math, I guess. Sony only has 2 running on Xbox, which we know is MLB The Show and Destiny 2. We've said that if this acquisition goes through, we're happy to make sure that there's a number 59 with Call of Duty and no doubt others. Sony has 286 exclusive titles, and Microsoft only has 59 on Xbox. Mostly what you see is a cross-platform strategy for Microsoft even before this deal. Now, as we look to the future, we believe the future is even more cross-platform than it has been in the past. Last bit of thing here, Microsoft has recruited Nintendo and Nvidia. Wait, I already said that. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. PS5. Oh, the little bit that I wanted to add. PS5 shipments are apparently winning by a margin of 69-31 right now after Sony figured out their supply chain shortage issues. So yes, a lot of information there. But yes, Gage, you wanted to point to something in regards to Nintendo with Call of Duty and
just that I was right again. All right, listen. Sorry, Lynn laughed in the background. He's like he's on his bullshit again. Okay, I told you guys that it had to be a cloud version, and you and Christian sat there and said, "Oh, but Phil Spencer or somebody said it won't be cloud." They signed this deal. The part that you left out is that they said Nintendo gets full content parity. Can you please explain to me how we are going to have 150 people in a Warzone match and everyone's on a Nintendo Switch? Guys, I just want to say this has nothing to do about the story, but I just had to get this out there because I'm a child in the head. Yeah. I was right. This is clearly going to be a streaming game. There's no way they can get full content parity on the Switch locally. What the fuck? That's crazy. More on topic is like, I hate the situation because I don't really like defending big corporations. If it were up to me, Activision would not be run by monsters, and Microsoft would not be acquiring Activision, because I'm kind of like, big companies have enough already. Like, it's kind of, I will admit that, but I feel like I've been forced into fighting for Microsoft's side just because of how stupid PlayStation's been about this entire fucking thing. And like, I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, I don't really want Xbox to own Call of Duty, but at the same time, like, they're sitting here and they're talking about, it's ridiculous. I think, what do I think? I think that's, I don't know. Somebody else go. I'm so angry. I'm like, I'm equal parts angry about the story and also over it. So I'm like finding it hard to almost get the words out because
I think we're all just excited for this to be over. I don't think any of us really think. Do you guys think that? Do any of us? I think we're all in the same boat on this. But do any of us think that this is not going to go through? I think we all think that eventually this is going to go through. Or is there anything
honestly? I think the longer this is, I would have felt that way at the beginning. I absolutely felt like this is just going to go through. It's not going to be an issue. Because I thought to myself, okay, if it gets questioned, there'll be just tons of evidence that they can show. And then this whole thing's turned into this weird circus where it's like the people, the people that work at these organizations are just saying things that aren't true. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? So the longer this has gone on, the less confident I am that it will go through. I don't know, Dan, if you feel the same, is that I'm...
Yes, absolutely. And this week was supposed to be Microsoft's big Hail Mary, so that's why there was a ton of stuff to come out, because reportedly this is their Hail Mary to get this done. And if it doesn't happen after everything they've done this week, then I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I just feel like most of PlayStation's points are contradictory to what they've been doing for the past so long. Like their I guess market strategy is exclusivity and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting to see them fight that battle, but they're on the quote unquote losing side, I guess. But they're just fighting so hard for something that I feel like if they were in the other position, obviously they would be fighting the same way Microsoft is. And I say obviously because I mean, obviously they would want Call of Duty if they had the opportunity to get that. But I feel like Microsoft is playing so nice with them, and they're like giving them everything that they need to feel secure in this deal going through. That I don't know. I hope it goes through, because of what Gage was saying about Activision and all the terrible people that are there, and I only see that work culture changing if this goes through. So that's kind of why I'm so excited for it to be over, and hopefully in a positive outcome. And really nothing really. I guess PlayStation just is worried about the future, but I feel like Microsoft's strategy so far has been anybody could play anywhere, with the Nvidia stuff and Nintendo stuff, and I'm sure if PlayStation would play nice, they would include PlayStation on that list of ecosystems for them to support.
Well, and that the Nvidia thing, Ro, is insane, because like that's in direct competition with Microsoft's own cloud service themselves, their Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but Dan, that is a Hail Mary.
Yes,
though.
absolutely.
Because you're right, it is insane. This is them
Yeah.
this is desperation. This is them trying to get this deal through.
Yeah.
The thing that I hate about this deal, though, is that it's two big companies just lying at each other, and like I find myself just siding with the side that lies a little bit less. Because like the big thing about this, that the two big things that Microsoft has been talking out of both sides of the mouth about is that they would never take away Call of Duty from PlayStation, which I don't think they would, but they talk about it like it's an obvious statement. But what's the first thing they did with Bethesda Game Studios? They got on stage, everybody was excited for Starfield, and they're like, it's only coming to PlayStation. Now, you could make the argument that Starfield is a new IP, but it kind of is and it kind of isn't, because it's one of those teams that alternates games. It's like if somebody locked down Rockstar Games and said, okay, we'll keep GTA multi-platform, but Red Dead's exclusive now. It's like, okay, but you're still kind of locking up that team, because you're not going to get a game from them until after this one. So we can split hairs, but I feel like they kind of did that with Starfield. They locked that away, and as they should. They are a console maker. They want exclusives. And then the other thing that Xbox is totally bullshitting about is both of these companies talking about how it's not about COD. It is very clearly about COD. That's why they won't cut COD out of the deal, right? They say it's about mobile, and sure, that Candy Crush will make them a pretty penny, but they want this because of Call of Duty. They absolutely do. Their first-person shooter franchise hasn't been what they want it to be for the past couple of years, and this would be a huge win for them. I might have frozen.
You did freeze. Oh, we lost.
I might have. Oh no!
Well, I'm sure he'll be back. That was a great point, though, Gage. Oh, he's back.
When did I go?
You're back.
Or I wasn't. I can't tell.
Do what?
Let me see. I'm trying to put my camera back on.
Oh, okay.
There we go. And now I'm normal color again. So that's fun. You not notice the difference?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because usually it's only once per episode, so it's not enough for you guys to see. But every time I turn on my camera, that is the type of difference it is. It either gets darker, it gets brighter. Anyways, I don't know. It just, like it's very clearly about Call of Duty. And it's unfortunate that, again, it's like I want Activision to go to Microsoft, but not because I think that's the best thing. It's because that's the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I'm at. And I agree with you, Ro. Like work culture will not change unless something big like this happens. Like we found out, obviously, Bobby Kotick's not going to leave if he's not getting, walked out the door with $100 million. So that culture's not going anywhere.
Like, come here.
Yeah,
think about it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Which again, some people don't like, but it's like, you know what? In today's modern fucking ultra capitalist world, like that's the best kind of outcome to get rid of somebody like Bobby Kotick. You just give him like what is essentially another penny in the bucket for him, and you like, all right, on your way, like as you were.
Yeah, and
so,
the alternative is what? To keep Bobby Kotick, so you can't it's not feasible.
Yeah, where he will just keep earning the same amount of money, but also hurting people at the same time.
Exactly.
And it's kind of a lose-lose for PlayStation, because if you think about it, if this deal doesn't go through, Bobby Kotick, obviously, it's very clear from Bobby Kotick's his own mouth that he wants this to go through, no doubt because of his leaving bonus, of which he will be set for life 3 times over, which he's already set for life. But why is this happening?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. But Gage was making such good points, and here he is back.
We don't even have anything running in the background this time. I don't know what's going on.
Gage
this
is
has
just
never
play-
been an issue.
Gage is playing Tarkov while
I'm
doing the
not.
podcast.
I'm not.
Kidding.
I would admit it. And I'm not, and I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Get rid of Kodak, something or other. I don't know. I felt like I was about to say something smart, but
That's fair.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
A lot of stuff.
I'm ready for this to be
packed
over.
in
That's
there.
my main point.
That's fair. I think we all are at this point. It is done. Finish
Oh yeah. If the deal doesn't go through and Bobby Kotick doesn't get what he wants, like, does PlayStation not think about how he's just going to turn around and probably sign the same deal that PlayStation's had with Xbox now? That's what I was thinking about too. I was like, this is a lose-lose for Sony, because even if you succeed, you're still going to lose, because now they're just going to get the 30-day bonus or all the fucking bullshit that you've been getting for the last 10 years.
Well,
Bobby Kotick can turn around and just sign that deal with Xbox.
And you know what the biggest FU would be? And Microsoft could do this, a massive sum of money, and put Call of Duty on Game Pass. Because
yes, they could.
They're a free company. They're allowed to do that. So
yes, so it's a lose-lose. I don't like. Yeah. I honestly think from the get-go this has been about Sony buying time, because they've been acquiring a lot of multiplayer studios, and I think Sony probably has the talent and the resources. They probably could make a decent competitor to COD, and maybe that they're just trying to buy time to get that on the go. But I don't know what they're. No matter what they lose, it seems. So I don't know. I'm ready for this to be over.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Moving into our fantasy draft check-in. Every single one of us had a new game check-in this week for our draft check-in. So first up, we're just going to go down the board here. We have Company of Heroes 3 on Florida Man Publishing's page, which is Gage. And that game is at an 81 Open Critic, giving Gage currently 11 points.
11, yeah.
That's not bad. We were at it was at 86 opening night, which is unfortunate, but I'll take an 81.
Solid. So Gage's tentative total is 25 with those two games. Of course, Hogwarts Legacy is his other one.
What place am I in?
You are, well, I'd have
second. Third?
Yeah, second, I think. Yeah, currently.
Hell yeah.
Then we have Like a Dragon Ishin, which is perfectly timed with Christian being in Japan right now. And he is getting 11 points right now. 81 Open Critic score for Like a Dragon Ishin.
I bet you Christian's acting like a dragon right now.
And then we've got the Lockhart's Rose team, which is starting off. It's still positive, you know. It's still positive.
It's above 0.
Yeah,
you know.
Atomic Heart has hit 74. I really thought this game would get a better score than that, but 4 points, Ro. It's a start.
Yay! Yeah, I guess it's better than nothing. But my God, I was not expecting it to be as mixed as it was. Got some good scores, but it also got some really bad scores. So yeah, ended up with a 4.
That sucks. Well, you can recover. There's a lot of time to go.
Yeah, I have Spider-Man.
That's true.
And Lightfall comes out. Yeah, Lightfall's coming out soon. So hopefully that'll at least put me in the double digits.
Heck yeah. You know who is definitely in the double digits? The champion of 2022 Fantasy Critic. Halo Infinite will eventually be 343's Halo 3. And that is my team. And I got Octopath Traveler 2, one of my favorite video games out there. No, I'm kidding. I've
always
never
talking
played
about
one.
Octopath.
Yeah. And it is at an 86 on Open Critic, which brings my total to, let me do some quick math here, 35 already, guys.
Damn.
35.
This can't be.
It's happening again, guys.
Again.
It is happening again. And I don't like it.
Man.
Gosh darn it.
I love that check-in, though. I love that all 4 of us had a game that released this week. Very cool.
That was
and I think you've got the episode title for that wrong. For the thing that we're about to do.
For Tilu Timeout?
Yeah.
Did I really?
Maybe. Let me find out.
I thought I checked it beforehand, but maybe I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Is that right?
It is not right.
It is not right?
It is not right.
What is episode 6?
That is a good. That's a good episode title. I don't know where the fuck you got that from.
Oh gosh! Wait, that is it, right?
That's not. It's really not.
What's the correct one?
Kin.
What is it?
Kin. Kin.
Oh, what the heck?
I don't know where you got that from.
No,
but it's actually
the story I got it from the New York Times. It says The Last of Us season 1 episode 6 : The Ties That Bind. And then I scroll down, it says the correct name down below. Why would you fucking put that in the title?
The guy's putting his own little subtitle up there. That's kind of lame, actually.
It's like, this is what I would call it, but I don't know.
Okay, sorry. My apologies, everyone.
Oh, no.
Kin. We lost Gage for a second. He'll be back.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Kin is the name of the episode. Thank you, Gage. We also got news that streamers watched over 830 million minutes of HBO's Last of Us in a single week in January, beating out House of the Dragon within the same span of time. Doing very well. Very well. But our reactions to episode 6, Kin. Guys, what were your guys' thoughts? Who wants to jump in?
Gage?
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great. I think this episode. I'll shake things up a little bit because I do think this show is absolutely fantastic, and every episode I've just been like, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I think it actually is, like, quality wise, I think it's pretty good. But this is starting to be right around where I feel like we could have used that other episode, right? Like it's very strange, especially with HBO. Like, they're very consistent. Their shows either have like 6 episodes or 10 episodes, and most of them are 10. So this one being 9, this is where we're starting to feel it a little bit. I think that certain things, and this is why I absolutely love this adaptation, is that it seems like it's pretty equally spread out. Some things are better, I prefer in the game, and some things I prefer in the show. And this episode had a few of those things all within this one episode. First of all, shout out to Graham Greene, legendary Native American Canadian actor. Those two, there's a certain way.
Good.
My family is Native American, and we've been to a lot of powwows. Like, my mom has dedicated her professional life to helping out Native Indigenous people. So we spend a lot of time in that kind of culture. And like, there's totally a cadence to which Native American people speak that lends itself to comedic timing so well. Like, my mom and I were rolling on the couch, and they weren't really doing anything except for just like Graham Greene. That was amazing. That whole scene was amazing. That was such a great little moment.
Are you lying? No. Are you lying to me? It's like, no. So
it's
good.
just like, who's this little psycho?
Yeah.
Just like, oh my god, it is great. I like the little fleshing out Joel's interrogation tactic. That was a nice little touch, because we'll see that again later, and it's kind of like, I like that.
There was one other line that the wife said that I thought was really funny, where it's like, you didn't shoot him? It's like, the gun's all the way over there. So I didn't bother. Oh my god. They were great.
They stole like almost that whole episode, and I was like, it was just like a throwaway bit pretty much, but it was great. It was a nice little touch there that I specifically liked a lot. But like, yeah, I think obviously, again, it's its own thing, it's its own adaptation, but the reason for the conversation that Joel and Ellie have, I felt like was not quite as earned in the show. Like, it seemed like it was very much like that part was really rushed. Like, I feel like we had another episode to kind of fill in just them going to the university and them having their fight and Tommy and all that stuff. We're at the point now where we're like, oh yeah, we could have used another one. But all in all, I think it was really great. I love a lot of the lines from the game that keep making it. Again, this is exactly what an adaptation should be. Do we need to change this because of the format? No? Okay, then we keep it. And they did that a lot with the dialogue in this episode. It was really good. I think, Christian, I would be remiss to say, like, this episode also kind of really shines.
It does
It
shine.
really shines like a diamond.
Like a
diamond.
Shine bright like it's
Gage froze, so I'm trying to stall so he can continue his thought when he gets back. Oh, yes.
It will shine.
Yes, it shines.
So,
it shines like what?
What shines?
I don't know. You're about to say this episode really shines. No.
Yeah. If Christian was here, yes.
Yes.
The key difference in the character in the writing of Joel that is it was really on display in this, which is that he is not a character that's sort of dealing with trauma. He's a character that's dealing with grief, and there is a big difference. And Christian touched on that, but like Joel is actively looking and seeing Sarah everywhere he goes, which was like a sweet moment, and I don't mind that change, but it is totally different from his character and how his character responds. If you think about the reunion in the game when Tommy gives him a picture of Sarah and he just says, "I'm good." And then Tommy's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "I'm good." It's trauma and grief are two different things. So this episode really showed that, but I like this. I like this change. Like there was a really sweet moment between Joel and Tommy where they're sitting in the shoe shop. So not the diner, but the shoe shop. And Pedro, that is a total flip from how their interaction is in the game. Like in terms of emotional level, totally different. But it really worked. I thought it was really great. And then of course the lead up to the end of the episode I thought was pretty good. I thought it was a little lame, actually. Again, I think this is maybe right around this might have been the last things they were filming, and maybe they were running out of budget. But it seemed a bit silly to have like 4 people just walk on by, and then they get out, and then they just spawn. They just spawn in behind them, and I'm like, oh wow, these 3 men sprinted up on you without you guys realizing, huh? And so that was a little silly, but. Again, aside from it feeling a little bit rushed, I liked a lot of the changes. Again, Gabriel Luna kills it as Tommy. He absolutely kills it as Tommy. So that's exciting.
So good.
So good.
God. The scene that you're talking about with in the shoe shop, it was like The Last of Us opening. The Last of Us 2 opening, I mean. Where Joel was admitting to Tommy like the history that they had. Spoilers, I guess. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. They're giving it to us a little bit earlier. Again, like I agree what you're saying with how we're moving really fast, and in that case, we're moving really, really fast because we're getting that conversation. But I thought that was really good. I thought that conversation went really good, and Pedro Pascal's line delivery and his acting in that was like, I really feel it, and he had that like. I was so afraid when he was talking about Ellie and the dog, and it's like it reminded me of that Arthur Morgan scene where you're just seeing this hard guy just like break down, and it hit for me that scene. But I do agree with the criticism of the other scenes with him and Ellie not feeling as earned just because we are moving so fast.
Right.
I did really like the performances in the argument, but there was a lot of lines that just weren't hitting the same way as they did in the game. But again, it's like the reactions that are more so than the actual line delivery. So when Joel left the room and closed the door on Ellie, and Bella's just there, like staring at the door, you could like really see it in her face, like, fuck.
Right.
I have to go with Tommy tomorrow, man. I don't want to leave Joel. And yeah, those hit. I kind of sad that we didn't get the runaway scene where Ellie and I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that could have been in between them and the argument that may have made it feel a bit more earned, but again, 9 episodes, I get it. I thought it was a really, really good episode, and it's funny to think that I was watching it with my mom, and at the end of this episode, she's like, "Oh my god, is Joel dead?" And I'm trying so hard not to just like spoil it for her, but I feel like a lot of people are actually in that boat right now, and with the next time on The Last of Us preview, like Joel is nowhere in sight. Like, so people are like, oh my God, is Ellie? And they may not even know it's a flashback even.
Right.
Like they're just seeing Ellie with like potentially back at the Fedra lab, not knowing that it's a flashback, but maybe she went back to Fedra. Maybe she went and found an outpost. Like that's what people could be thinking right now, which is, I'm so excited for it to continue like that.
Which is cool because that's what we all went through as we were playing it. It does cut to black, and then it's Ellie hunting, right? The rabbit, and you do that whole stint with David and all that stuff. I mean, as soon as she asks for medicine, you figure it out. But we do get that little bit of like what's going on, and I'm sure in the show it'll be the same. I'm sure they'll do a cold open where it's like 10 or 15 minutes of just Ellie, and then it'll kind of reveal that. But yeah, it is exciting to kind of see people like get excited about it and go through the same motions that you went through. God fucking damn it.
I'll just jump in. I am very interested to see like what happens with the next episode, because Like, I wonder if the next episode is going to be all about the flashback, or do we think it's just going to be like a piece of like the flashback from the Left Behind DLC? Because like that DLC, how long is that DLC? Like 3 or 4 hours?
I want to say, yeah, I want to say that's about right. I would say 4 hours. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think, like, in terms of TV, with how quickly the show has gone. I'm just trying to wonder if that would be a whole episode.
The DLC did go back and forth though. It wasn't just the flashback. You did play as Ellie in present day as well for some parts. I'm pretty sure, where she's like actually actively looking for the medicine.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Okay.
In the game you just have the winter scene. I don't know. There's some parts that were definitely cut out in the actual Last of Us game, and then in Left Behind you played those cut out parts. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly.
I gotcha. It's been so long since I played it.
I know. Yeah. But it seemed like it's going to be the whole thing. The way how they ended that part with like Riley in the shop with the gun and all that kind of stuff. So they might go through with all of it. Yeah.
One thing I did like though. This is hilarious that Gage is still frozen.
Just forever frozen.
One thing I kind of liked, like Gage had talked about how Neil Druckmann, one of Neil's, I think it was Neil's original ideas for The Last of Us was that he was going to have like a heart issue or whatever. And I kind of feel like not that he has a heart issue, but like he shows many points where he's like showing signs of weakness. Like he's, all right, I need to take a breath here. Like the one shot where he's like leaning against the post and he's just like, I gotta calm myself, collect myself. Like I'm an old man. I can only do so much. Like I really like those moments.
I think he's actually like older in this game, like canonically older. Like he's 56, and I'm not in this game, in the show. Yeah. And then I think he is in the game, which I thought was cool as well.
Yeah, it just it makes him feel more real as a character. Yeah. I feel like, and of course, like you guys said, Graham Greene did a great job. Him and his wife character, I forget what her name is. They did phenomenal job. Elaine Miles. They both did such a great job in that scene. That was a really cool scene when they're in their cabin. So yeah, very happy for the episode in general.
Very good. People were saying that they think. And I think Neil himself actually referenced it as well, but they think the girl that Ellie shouts at the diner, or not in the diner, at the cafeteria area, is Dina, like a young Dina.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's neat.
All right. Man. Well, shit. Sorry, Glenn. Thank you for letting us know. I would have had no idea. I would have been sitting here like an idiot. I don't even know. Crap. When did I switch that? People are going to be like, there's a giant
gap. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you're listening to this right now, ladies and gentlemen, we lost about 5 minutes or so of us talking, so I apologize. I don't know what else. I don't even know where to go back to at this point. I think we were still talking about
forward.
Yeah, we'll just move forward. I apologize if you missed anything, but we're just gonna start here. Here we are.
Yes.
Wherever we are. Where are we?
Where are we? What are we? Why are we here?
So we played some video games. I played Cyberpunk. Ro played
Yakuza 0. Yeah.
We're just playing some video games. Oh, I'm sorry, Ro. I screwed that one up. All right.
It's okay. Well, I honestly didn't have anything new to say, honestly. I was just like, yeah, I haven't gotten to a new point yet. But yeah, enjoying it so far.
Cool. We're both playing games that we've played before and haven't progressed. Yeah.
Hopefully we get farther.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Into the topic of the show, Ro. Here we go.
Yes.
Hopefully Gage returns, but if he doesn't, I sent him a message while you were talking before if he has his hot takes that he wants to tell us, but we'll see what happens here. Our video game hot takes. What are our current video game hot takes, Ro? These are the things that are burning our minds right now. I'll lead us off here and talk about, the thing that we just got done talking about a little bit ago, especially with that cut audio. We were literally just talking about The Last of Us. We lost all the other audio.
Yes.
The Last of Us 2. The story.
Oh boy.
I will say my hot take is The Last of Us 2 story does not respect what came before it. Meaning The Last of Us Part 1. I will continue to bang my hand down and say that, and this is a spoiler alert, so if you have not completed The Last of Us or The Last of Us Part 2, fast forward about 30 seconds. I don't feel that the game respects the first game with how quickly they kill off Joel and such a graphic way, which I loved how they did it to give you that emotional response. I didn't feel like the way they did it worked for me. I feel like that should have been like a mid-game type event that should have happened. And I feel like the character that Abby that did it to him should have been fleshed out before that happened, because while I understand why they did it and in the context of the story that they told for The Last of Us Part 2, I think it makes sense in that respect. I just don't think that it respects Joel's character as what he was established in the first game, in my opinion. And that's why these are hot takes, because
These are hot takes. Hot takes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not alone in that take, but yes, I don't know. I think I still, and you can say it now because you have played. I remember you saying like, I couldn't play this game because of what they did to Joel, and everybody on the podcast was like, finish it, just finish it.
Yeah.
And you finished it, and you still feel that way. So I respect it. I respect the hot take,
and I enjoyed the heck out of that game.
Yeah.
That game was great.
Yeah. But I loved The Last of Us Part 2, and I still think, like, I understand how people feel like that. And like you said, I think they were going for that. But again, if they did switch some things around with like play as Abby for a good 8 hours, and then you get to that point and it's like, oh, what the heck? I thought Abby was cool. And then, I could see how that could have changed some opinions on that. I think they did a great job with respecting Joel's character, like not making him like, I don't know. I feel like they went out of their way to show how great of a person Joel was to Ellie in a lot of scenes. So I don't think that was an issue, but I can definitely see how a lot of people felt with Joel leaving us. And
And you're totally right about that, because the impact of the museum scene would, the history museum, that would not be anywhere close to the same impact without the events happening the way they did in The Last of Us Part 2. So I totally agree with you on that aspect.
Oh, so I think Gage has sent us some hot takes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want me to read his, or do you want to read his, or do you want to do yours first?
I could do one of mine first, and then we could react to Gage's.
Sounds good.
I think I've touched upon this before, but I don't think third-person action games, i.e., Bayonetta, honestly, The Last of Us is another one that I would put into this category, and Uncharted is different because it's like a fun Indiana Jones spinoff. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I don't think those types of games need environmental puzzles. They're usually very tacked on, in my opinion, and they slow gameplay down, and they're just usually not fun. They're just not fun to do. The game is an action game, and those are the fun parts. Let me just do the fun parts. I don't know why you're slowing the things down to make me do these environmental puzzles to climb up a ladder, or when they're optional, fine. But when you're like making me find the ladder, do all these weird things to just get to the next section to do the fun thing again, I hate that. It's so annoying. I don't know if this is, honestly, maybe this isn't a hot take, but I just don't see it talked about a lot, so I categorize it as a hot take.
No,
get rid of these. Get rid of these things. We don't want them. We don't want these puzzles finding the ladder. We just want to do the fun combat stuff, please. At least I do.
I think that's a really good hot take, Ro, because I think a lot of people like the puzzles and such. So like that's a great hot take.
Fools.
I was on your side so hard at the beginning of God of War Ragnarok when they first start you on the puzzles, because you're still learning.
God of War is another one I would put into this category. Yeah.
You're still learning how everything works, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to bang my freaking head into the wall. Yeah. You're totally
like when they're optional, like you're trying to get like a cool skin or an upgrade for your weapon. Like, okay, to get that, you have to do these puzzles. Like, okay, fine. But when I'm doing like the main story mission and I'm just beating through bad guys, going to the next area to beat through some more bad guys to get to that cutscene, and you have to stop all that to do like these silly things. No, I don't like it. It happens a lot.
Totally fair.
What's Gage's hot take?
Gage's first hot take. There hasn't been a FPS game released since Titanfall 2 that matches its combination of quality, content, and incredible single-player offering. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Fair.
That's probably
I'm not a huge
fair.
FPS guy, but he's probably right. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that is, The multiplayer...
FPS.
The multiplayer was pretty put together, and the complete, and the campaign was lauded as one of the best FPS shooters of the era. So yeah, I honestly think that's a really good take. I don't even know if it's hot. It might be hot. There might be people out there saying, "Oh my gosh, Modern Warfare 2, that's such a monumental story." I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up recent FPS shooters that came out since then.
Yeah.
That I would top 10 FPS shooters that came out since Titanfall. Hyperscape is on a list that I found. Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
What are you talking about? Doom Eternal did come out.
Oh, that's fair.
Between that time. I think Doom 2016. I think people liked more anyway, and Cyberpunk as well. But yeah, I would say most people would say that Titanfall is better than both those games. Titanfall 2, I mean. So yeah, Gage might be onto something.
A little hot take. All right. I've got a second one here, and this one might we might be throwing fists here, Ro. You might be throwing a fist at me.
Oh god.
Or you might agree, I don't know, or maybe a little bit.
We'll see.
Nintendo, bro. They don't really do new tentpole IPs. We're talking Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda. They continue to, go back to the well and say hey, what else you got to offer me, Mario? What else you got, Kirby? Where's the new tentpole characters and franchises? Sure, they do some indie stuff over here, that's cool, but where's the tentpole, the new tentpole stuff?
No. Yeah, I do agree with that. The last big thing that I feel like first party Nintendo thing was, God, I want to say ARMS. There's got to be something in between there that wasn't Metroid or Zelda or Mario. But I to me, that's the only thing I can. And of course, Splatoon. But I think ARMS came out after Splatoon. But yeah, even Splatoon is now a big franchise now, and they're on Splatoon 3. So yeah, they really do they go back into in their defense, Nintendo fans are always asking for remasters and make a Sunshine 2 and all that kind of stuff. So in some respects, they may be delivering on what fans want. But yeah, I would love to see a new Nintendo thing a la Splatoon or ARMS. People, and even in the same vein that you're saying, people want an ARMS sequel now. So how original is that, I guess? But yeah, I agree with that hot take. Nintendo needs to do some more original stuff, and they keep using the old stuff to fall back on. It's good old stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be nice to see them branch out a little bit more. I would argue that most of the games industry is kind of like that,
that's
sequels
absolutely.
And stuff like that. Nintendo maybe more so, but yeah, I would say that's kind of a trend right now as well.
What's your second hot take, bro?
My second hot take is The Witcher 3 is not fun to play. And I know that's the greatest game ever, but I don't enjoy playing that game. I've tried 3 times, guys. I don't like it. I'm sure the story is great, but I hate playing it, so I can't enjoy the story. But yeah, I would love it. Like maybe some like with the Witcher remake that's coming out, and we talked about Dragon Age a little while ago with how they changed it like completely. If they were to do that with The Witcher and they made it play like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm there. I'll play it. I'll experience this story that you guys love so much. But right now, the way that combat works, it reminds me of GTA, like how you walk around in there, and I hate how GTA controls. And I love how much I know people love GTA. I guess that's another hot take, actually. I hate how GTA controls. But yeah, The Witcher 3 is a game that I want to love, but I can't love because I just don't enjoy existing in that world. Unfortunately, the moment-to-moment gameplay isn't that great to me. But yeah, maybe I need to give it more time. But yeah.
Again, Ro, we're on the same we're on the same wavelength. I absolutely I played Witcher 2. I never beat it, never came close to beating it, but I played it because on Xbox when it first came out on Xbox, and I was like, man, everyone talks so highly about this. I want to enjoy it, the story. Tried it. I was like, all right, I'm not feeling this gameplay. So like I set it down. Witcher 3 comes out. One of my friends at college at the time was really excited about it. I was like, you're amping me up for this. I'm ready. I'm ready. So I bought it. I played like 3 hours of it, and I'm like, I just can't anymore. I'm with you. It just doesn't hit for me. Like that world is really cool, and the characters and story I'm sure is good, but yeah, it's just the gameplay doesn't.
Yeah. The first time I tried, I think I got as far as you did, like 3 hours, maybe less, honestly, the first time. And the second time I got pretty deep into it. I just like I was like maybe not super deep, but like I got maybe I would say 5, maybe 6 hours into this game this time. And it felt better, I guess, but like it was the story that was really carrying it. Like I liked the characters and interacting with them. But yeah, I just hit another stop where maybe I tried another game and just fell off of it. And I fell off of it again, and then I came back to it to try again, and I was like, no, I can't. And maybe it's a sign of the time that it released, but yeah, shucks. Oh well, maybe someday maybe someday I'll play it.
You know what? Like you said, bro, they just got to completely change the remake. You know,
just got to make it a completely different game.
Yeah,
and then I'll play it.
Yeah. Gage has a second hot take. This is his last one that he sent. So you ready for this hot take? Forspoken looks fun.
It does look fun, but is it fun? Goodness. I don't think he played the demo. I played the demo.
Yeah.
It looked fun. It did look fun, but when I played it, it was not fun.
Christian sent
in my opinion.
Yeah. Christian sent me 19 seconds of the demo, and it was enough for me to say, I ain't downloading it.
not doing that.
Not doing it.
Yeah. And I think even in hindsight, and I was guilty of it too, maybe we were too hard on it for the writing aspect of it, but I think, I don't know, I feel like the opposite thing has been happening, honestly. So maybe this really is a hot take where people are like, the writing sucks, but it's actually pretty fun to play. And I'm just like, the writing wasn't maybe as bad as I cut it out to be, but it does not look fun to play. It doesn't feel fun to play. But yeah, some people out there are liking it. I think it reviewed better than freaking Atomic Heart, so maybe I'm crazy. But yeah.
Should have picked it up instead of Atomic Heart.
Guess so.
Kidding. I've got one more row, and I hope that Christian doesn't come out from Japan to murder me when I say this. In fact, Christian, you should probably turn it off right now if you're listening. From Soft Games aren't that good, Ro. They aren't that good. The allure is the difficulty to these games, and I don't think that they're actually that good or monumental, as Christian says. Oh my God, this is so monumental. He's gonna come out of nowhere right now and murder me. But,
oh my goodness, we have to show him this next week. I wish I had some experience with the From Software games. The only one that I have experience with is like a spin-off game called Scarlet Nexus, and it's like a Souls-like. It's not even from Software. It's like it's Bandai Namco who developed it. And yeah, I wish I had more experience to combat you on this one, but I don't, because I feel like Christian would definitely eat you out for saying
yeah.
that.
Yes, he would destroy me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes.
Even I want to like combat this because
I know.
but I just have no legs to stand on.
Yeah. I can respect it. I think that people absolutely these games are probably good. I just don't that's my hot take, you know. That's
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you have any more hot takes or is that all?
That was all of them.
Okay.
Princess Daisy is better than Peach.
Oh,
my last one.
wow.
Yeah.
Daisy over Peach.
Absolutely.
Wow. Who voices Daisy?
Oh man, I used to know that answer.
And
Princess Daisy voice actress.
Deanna Mustard? Is that right?
That sounds right. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Interesting.
I specifically looked up the Mario Strikers voice actress too, and it did say Deanna Mustard. So that must be her.
Heck yeah. But now, Ro, I've got to destroy you because you know who voices Princess Peach in the Mario games?
Oh, God. No.
Yeah, that would be Jen Taylor, who is the voice of Cortana.
Of course.
So, Ro, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm not, though.
I love Jen Taylor. I love her so much. But no, that's fair.
God, terrible.
Peach
just has so many voice actresses, though.
That's true.
She's had a bunch. Like, I don't know what Jen Taylor did. She must have done a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing like Samantha Kelly.
Oh.
Seeing Nicole Mills for like they're all over the crazy. So many. I didn't know there's so many.
There's a lot of Princess Peaches out there running around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a couple of like just what do you call them? I'm blanking.
Honorable mentions.
Thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on this.
Some mild takes, if you will.
Some mild takes. Destiny's The Traveler row, I feel like, is incredibly dull for being a major focal point of the games.
I agree. There's a trailer that came out recently talking about the story or hyping up the next major expansion, and it was crazy. Yeah. Like the Traveler was leaving, everybody, oh my god, the Traveler sucks. Why is he leaving? And then he stayed. But there's a lot of people like, the Traveler is alive. It can move. I was like, I don't know it could do that. It's like, oh my gosh, and that's a knock against Destiny's past storytelling. They're obviously doing better now, but yeah, the damage has been done, unfortunately, to the community where they just don't know what's going on with that thing in the sky. Unfortunately, yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. And of course, my last one, which no one's here to combat me because, of course, you're not going to combat me on this, right, Ro? Halo Infinite is a great game.
Yeah, I won't combat you on that because I've only played the story campaign. Essentially, I played a little bit of the multiplayer, and it was fun.
Dude, we played till like 4 a.m. that night.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, there was one clip that I uploaded that I was like, I'm still proud of it to this day, where I used a grappling hook to get into somebody else's warthog, threw his teammate off. The guy was still in the back, and I drove off the edge of like the map, and I used my grappling hook to get back onto the map, but the car still went off, and he died and said, "Oh, I love it. That was so fun. The grappling hook is awesome."
Oh, the grappling hook's absolutely the best thing that happened to Halo Infinite. Yeah, you're totally right. Amazing. All right. Well, guys. Stuff. Well, I don't know why I'm saying well, guys. It's just me and you now.
Well, we're still listening after our terrible hot takes. Thank you.
After we missed about 5 or 6 minutes of audio. Again, I apologize for missing that audio, ladies and gentlemen. But anywho, anything else before we close out the show, bro?
No, I'm excited for the State of Play tomorrow. So we'll be talking about that next week, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for all those events. Podcast PXN presents.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Christian is in Japan. Thank you. Engage. who we lost due to internet issues. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.